Ladies and gentlemen, earlier this month, the Zwicky Transient Facility in California watched a tiny asteroid pass just 1,830 miles from Earth, and then it just shot off in a whole new direction, which is not usually what asteroids do. So it's probably a spaceship, and yeah, 2020 just keeps getting 2020er. And if it walks like a duck, it quacks like a duck, it acts like a duck, and feathers fall off its butt like a duck, then I'm going to call it a hurricane. That's right, Hurricane Marco, headed towards Louisiana, it looks like. It has a pressure of 992 millibars, which would put it at hurricane strength, and it has a 70-watt sustained wind speed at the surface, which would make it a hurricane. They just haven't labeled it a hurricane yet. So this one is the hurricane, and this one is the really, really big problem. Now, this will definitely be a problem to Louisiana, Alabama, and Mississippi, most likely, with heavy rains, hurricane speed winds, or tropical storm winds in some areas. And I think it could strengthen to as much as Category 2, but it is going to encounter some wind shear, so it actually could get knocked back down into a tropical storm. I'm totally okay with that. But the big problem here now is Laura. As Stu Ostro points out, Laura has that look to it. And so even though it has traversed over Puerto Rico and brought incredibly damaging winds to Hispaniola and will probably move over Cuba, meaning the mountainous range is tearing it up, it is still keeping a semi-monstrous shape, in my opinion. Now let us hope and pray that the low, which is separated from the convection, continues that trend even after it passes Cuba and goes into the Gulf. But at the moment, some of the models are drawing up Laura as a major hurricane. The Euro's got 168 mile per hour wind gusts coming into Houston and coming to Galveston and the Houston area at about Wednesday at about 12 a.m. The NAM run has it with 129 mile per hour wind gusts headed more towards New Orleans. This would be Tuesday the 7th. This is as far out as the NAM goes. And the GFS has it with 83 mile per hour wind gusts on Wednesday at 10 p.m. Let us pray for this, but the GFS is kind of the worst at intensity, or it can be. And earlier, the GFS had locked in on a Category 3, Category 4 hurricane going into Houston. Models are still windshield wiping with pretty incredible variety this late into the game, but it is 2020. And I want to say this about Laura, if nobody minds, everybody's got their own opinions. Nobody knows specifically 100% where it is going. But since I've been watching it, a lot of times it seems like the storms like to tack on to the outflow, or whatever the hell you want to call this big thing. So that sometimes the storm will tack on to the storm that is moving out. Like, I think Dada Boo calls it pin the tail and donkey. So I think at some point, this could get pulled more to the east. So models now are windshield wiping between west and east. Right now, it's here to here pretty much. And so I would still ask anyone down from San Antonio, even into Florida's Panhandle, on Laura to pay attention. Now, the more it travels over land, and the sooner it would hit to the east, the less chance it would have to strengthen. Now, if it did move over here and then go anywhere from Galveston on down to Brownsville, it would have a lot more time to develop with basically super duper mega hot waters and no wind shear whatsoever, pretty much. So this is definitely a developing situation. We probably got about another 30 to 35 hours before Marco makes landfall, probably in Louisiana. It too could change. And then with Laura, it can be anywhere, I would guess, from the 26th to the 28th. So we're going to get probably a Monday, Tuesday landfall or a Tuesday, Wednesday landfall. So stay tuned. Hopefully, but we will watch its interaction with Cuba. If it goes over Cuba the whole time, it'll still have a chance to strengthen if it heads straight west. We're talking about Marco landfall probably about Monday. But like I said, I don't know how well models are going to do with intensification. Like as of last check, it was about to be a Cat 1 hurricane. And so the next above Cat 1 is Cat 2, but the wind shear could knock it down. And so it may come in as a tropical storm, we will have to pay attention and see what happens. But I would definitely be prepared if you are in its pathway. Marco definitely has a little bit of window to continue to strengthen, I think, but I don't know. Conditions may have changed. Conditions change rapidly here in 2020. And then on top of that, tomorrow, this is like the biggest severe weather, possible tornado, straight line wind, hail area ever in the northwest, northeast. This is like the biggest tornado severe weather warning ever for the northeast. Biggest ever. Okay? So I had warned for like 7 weeks that the Pluto, Saturn, Mars square, Eris conjunction, Capricorn thingy on the 24th would bring about some really dangerous, damaging, strange, emotionally charging times. And so it looks like I hit that bullseye. Hey, it's what I do. I'm so used to it. This kind of looks like a finger. There's the thumb with the finger, but it's got a finger gun that is melted. Must have been made out of ice cream or something. It's no joking matter. This is going to be a tremendous amount of rain, flooding areas, and depending on where Laura goes, we could definitely be seeing quite a flooding situation in the Gulf. And then you've pretty much got all of the western United States totally on fire, and neither political party cares about solving any of our problems or working with people through a pandemic, multiple landfalling hurricanes, major fires across the West. All they give a crap about is an election. That's all they've cared about all year long, as we should have been spending our time working together as Earth and America team, solidifying our supply chains and making sure everyone is fed, lights are on, and we all have a place to sleep, and everybody is staying calm, cool, and collected as we figure out new ways to deal with all the future problems that are here now. So I am your planetary defense commander, Star-Lord New Thor 7, and this is Asteroid Fight Club. So we will do our best to prepare, plan, stay cool, and survive to party in 2022, because I think it's going to be pretty crazy, wild, everything changing, at least through March of 2021. So get ready, stay cool, and I'll do what I can to bring you nonstop coverage all day to overshare with all the situations we got going on now. All right, I love you. Stay cool. Be safe. May God bless us all.